I think we need to start looking at politics in the aggregate, man. We got to look at everything from the 30,000 foot level. And I believe if we really, really look at our country objectively and honestly with the best vision you can possibly muster, I don't think even the most extreme among us could possibly be happy. Because, when we just talk about individual things, whether it's inappropriate books in middle schools or the trans agenda or the weaponization of government against Donald Trump and other people, the left, they really, really are good at isolating whatever single issue you want to talk about, and whoever really wants to talk about it, they isolate it and they just beat the same old drum of MAGA this and MAGA that and democracy and insurrection and cult member or whatever. They're good at it. But if you look at it all together, it's plain for anyone to see. You've got one party that supports human trafficking at our border. They support anti-Semitism all over the world, but even in the United States, we got takeovers in American cities, on American bridges, and so-called elite universities. They support the destruction of women's rights on not just these elite college campuses, but every single campus in the country. We just saw the complete destruction of Title IX last Friday. It's all crazy. It is all insane. And if you look in the aggregate, it is impossible to miss the fact that it is all just one big attack against America. And they all hide it really, really wonderfully. They hide it under this protective umbrella of inclusivity and protecting democracy, which of course sounds fantastic. It's all kumbaya. It's all beautiful. But this is what that actually looks like. What do we even, come on, I don't mean to laugh. It's not funny, but it's just so crazy, man. This has got to be the end of Columbia University in New York. I don't see how it survives. Things have gotten so bad. The school has such little control that we have a rabbi at Columbia in America he's begging Jewish students to evacuate, to flee an American university and go home so that they can be safe. That is just amazing. This school is supposed to be one of the best in the entire world. And these kids, the ones that are in danger and the ones completely losing their mind and being the danger, they're all paying an average of $86,000 a year, man. And this is what they get. It's not just Columbia. There's another school down the street in New York City in the East Village called Cooper Union. And that one's about $70,000 a year. And that's a school where the faculty has made a plan for Jewish students to hide in the attics from pro-Hamas, sometimes violent demonstrations. And all the liberals, the leftists and all the other intellectually creatures in the world who see NAZIs every time a Republican speaks, they've said absolutely nothing about the parallels to Anne Frank. And they never will. But it's just, you can't make it up. It's remarkable stuff. But here's the thing. No matter what side you're on politically, there are some issues, man, that just do not have sides. There's right and there's wrong. There's yes and there's no. Some things don't have a side. This is one of those issues, man. There are young people on campuses in New York, a city that's so freaking dangerous that the National Guard is staffing the subways, and Jewish students are either fleeing or hiding in the attic from wannabe jihadists, man. It's just unbelievable. And apparently faculty, they don't really take it all that serious.
Let me ask about Professor Catherine Frank from the Columbia Law School, who said that all Israeli students who have served in the IDF are dangerous and shouldn't be on campus. What disciplinary action has been taken against that professor?
I agree with you that those comments are completely unacceptable and discriminatory.
But I'm asking you what disciplinary action has been taken.
She has been spoken to by a very senior person in the administration, and she has said that that was not what she intended to say.
And has she publicly apologized?
I have suggested that.
You have suggested that? Has she done that?
I think she will be finding a way to clarify her position.
You see the concern here, though, with the lack of enforcement. You see the concern that speaking to these professors is not enough, and it's sending a message across the university that this is tolerated, these anti-Semitic statements from a position of authority in professors in the classroom is tolerated.
I mean, dude, again, I don't mean to laugh. It's not funny, but it's insane. These are the people that are in charge, man. They have no idea what they're doing. They really don't seem to have any idea what is really actually happening. And they don't seem to have an understanding that they are literally sitting on one of the world's biggest powder kegs, right? That's how they seem. They seem that they have no clue, but they have to know. No one can be that dense. No one can make it to that level and be that stupid. So this has got to be their plan, because these are the kinds of people. It's got to be their plan, because look who comes to teach at their university. This is what 80 grand a year actually gets you.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. We're standing very much on lineage and Arabic territory. I'm a settler on stolen land. What does that have to do with Palestine? Well, we're in the business of propaganda, whether we like to admit it or not. And so the question is, do people want a revolution, an actual revolution, a real revolution? Do they want to be revolutionary? Or do they want to sell ciphers, opinions on the internet? Because revolutions require on-the-ground organizing work. This is stolen land. America is leading this war. And the chickens are coming home to roost, as Malcolm had noted. This ain't no American dream, it was always an American nightmare. If we're fighting for the rights of indigenous people to assert their own sovereignty, their own governance, their own ways of living, then we need to contend with that here. We can't lie to ourselves. You want a free Palestine? What about land back here? Again, America is leading this war. What is land back halal with regards to Palestine, but not here? Not a free Palestine, free over here. What does it mean for Palestine to be free? What does it mean for Turtle Island to be free? America is a settler colonial society. Israel is a settler colonial society. Where do you think that they got that idea from, that structure from? BDS is great. Blocking ports is amazing. Shipping routes, commerce, travel, trade, even ruining somebody, a white supremacist, powerful day, week, month. Well, how do we go beyond that? How do we go beyond that? We need to really learn how to redream dangerously again.
Yeah. So if you don't speak asshole, this so-called professor, he's basically calling, this is what I hear. I hear him basically calling for a violent revolution. And he's not talking about Israel. He's talking about America. He says, hilariously, he says it to a room of very, very rich, probably predominantly white, brainwash victims. He says, hey, you talk about Palestine all you want. You talk about stolen land all you want, but you're on stolen land. You're a thief. And Palestine will never be free until America is free. That's what he's saying. And that's what he's talking about. That is the goal. That has always been the goal. You know, these people want to destroy the entire West. They used to hide it. I guess we should be thankful they're not even hiding it anymore. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign, but, you know, these are the results. You know, this is what you get. And this is what 80 grand a year gets you in what is now a pretty typical Ivy League.
So that was the scene at Yale over the weekend. Anti-Israel protests turning violent, injuring our next guest. She wrote a column on this saying, quote, I was stabbed in the eye at Yale. The school has allowed anti-Israel students to run roughshod over their most basic policies. Yesterday, she writes, I paid the price for their inaction. Yale student Sahar Tartak needed hospital treatment for that injury. She is doing well now, which we're happy to say, and she joins us now. Sahar, welcome. It's good to have you with us. Your piece is very moving on this morning in the Free Press. Tell me a little bit about what was going on when you were there. What did you see all around you? And then what happened?
Sure, of course. So over the past week or so at Yale, anti-Semitic student protesters have taken over a central plaza on our campus, setting up a tent encampment, among other things, pictures to commemorate terrorists, and this culminated in multiple nights of overnight encampment in the central plaza and protests with hundreds of people. I think it was 500 when I came on Saturday night. And as soon as I was identified with my friend who wears a black hat as visibly Orthodox Jewish students, I was immediately blockaded by protest organizers. And everywhere I walked, there was a line of protest organizers standing in front of me, linking arms, so that I could not walk forward. And the rest of the students at the rally noticed this, the other 500 students at this violent rally, and they saw me, and so they began to taunt me as well because they recognized that I was something that they view as an enemy. And finally, the taunting continued and escalated, and I was just there to record them. And the taunting escalated until somebody waved a Palestinian flag in my face and then jabbed me in my left eye. And from there, when I tried to run after him, the human blockade of protest organizers continued to stand in front of me to stop me from catching my assailant. And so I went to the hospital.
America, man, this is happening in America. And again, these people are supposed to be the best. These people are supposed to be the brightest. They're supposed to be our future. And this is how they spend their time at their Ivy League schools, in a large, dangerous, anti-Semitic violent mob. It's freaking crazy, man. If it wasn't on video, it would really probably be the most impossible thing to believe in the year 2024. But the good news is it is on video. And even better news, there are millions of Biden voting people that would probably consider themselves more like a classical liberal. And now these people are starting to understand that that might not exist anymore. You know, classic liberals, ACLU type, civil rights champion liberals, the people who fought for things like Title IX, they're getting real close to not even existing anymore. And the ones that do exist, they must be pretty damn lonely. And we'll see what they do in November, man. But I feel like they're going to do something different this time. But anyway, that's just my take, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't already, be a part of our growth. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. I'll see you in the next one.